Hello and welcome to the Granite State Yarns podcast. My name is Lauren and I am the knitter and dyer behind Granite State Yarns. This is my semi-weekly podcast where I talk about all of the knitting that I have been doing. Sometimes we have other crafty things mixed in there, but for the most part it's knitting. Today it's all knitting. Actually, we do have some spinning to talk about, so I'm coming to you from my deck in the great state of New Hampshire. You can find me at my website, www.granitestateyarns.com, and I have a bunch of hand-dyed sock yarn in both fingering and DK weight. I think right now in my shop mostly we have fingering. I don't think we have any DK right now, but there is a bunch of fingering in there for all of your sock needs. I know a lot of us are getting really excited for summer sock camp coming up at the end of this month. So if you are still looking for some yarn, feel free to take a look at my site. You can also find me on Instagram at Granite State Yarns. I'm pretty active over there and definitely talking about what I am up to as far as knitting and other fun things. So yeah, if you are a returning viewer, thank you so much for coming back. I'm so excited that people are excited to watch my podcast every week or so. And if you're a new viewer, welcome. I hope you enjoy. So I'm looking at my screen right now and there's some bugs flying around. I have carpenter bees that are buzzing. So if you're hearing any interesting little noises in the background, it's just, I don't know, real life, right? So hopefully nothing's going to bite me. I think I've been spending a lot of time on the deck this week and nothing seems to be biting yet. I know the mayflies are out, and I don't know if you have mayflies where you're from, but we definitely get them over here and they are nasty little things. And I'm very allergic to their bites. So hopefully no one's going to be biting me today because I don't need that. So it is, Thursday, May 12th. And I haven't recorded in about almost 2 weeks now. Pretty busy over here the last little while. And so I just didn't get around to recording last week. Sorry about that. But it's the way it goes, but I am here today. So let's jump into what I've been working on. I do have a finished object. So I think actually 2 finished objects. That's right. We'll start with what I'm wearing right now. This is my Lines and Vines shawl, and this pattern is by McKaylee of Breaking Yarn. And I have been working on this for the last couple weeks. It's my very first brioche project. You can see a little bit of brioche down here on the end. Here, I'll take it off so I can show it a little bit better. But this, like I said, this is my very first brioche project, and I am really happy with how it came out. You start with the brioche down here. See, it's two-sided. Here's the wrong side, which actually still looks really pretty. But then we've got the right side over here. These really cool vine patterns. And then after you've done all that, then you move into the garter stitch portion, which is really easy and fun after all of that brain work, especially if you're a brand new brioche knitter. So just garter all the way, getting smaller and smaller until we get to the end. And you'll notice that my end is a little unique. So nothing wrong with the pattern. But I made the cardinal error of not swatching. Now you think, it's a shawl. I don't really need to swatch. It'll be fine. It'll be fine. Well, you do still need to swatch so that way you don't end up running out of yarn. So my shawl came out a little bit bigger than it was supposed to, which is fine because I like a nice big shawl. And actually, the size is really nice. But yeah, I don't remember what the gauge should have been or what I ended up getting, but I definitely got, when I checked it, when I noticed that I had run out of yarn, I realized that I was way off in gauge. And I had even gone down a couple of needle sizes because ordinarily I have to do that anyway. But I definitely could have gone down at least another needle or more. Oh well, what are you gonna do? So what I ended up doing was I found some yarn that was this nice gold color, and it went well with the contrast color that I already, or was this the main color? Went well with the main color that I already had. The main color here is rather variegated, and then this gold really wasn't. It was a there was like, it was mainly like a tonal, but it had a few speckles of like some reds in it. So what I ended up doing, if you look closely here, is I held a fingering sock yarn that I had that had those those purple colors. And I did that for, you see, I didn't do it over here because I was trying to like give it a little bit of like variation. But I don't know, it worked out fine. When you look at it close up, you can definitely see that I did some funky stuff here with the holding two yarns double, and it's a little bit thicker too because, so the shawl itself is, the shawl itself is DK weight. And then I had this gold color here was DK weight too. And so when I held fingering with it, it made it, you know, I think probably about a worsted weight. So it's a little bit thicker here, but honestly, it's fine. It's totally fine. It looks, I really actually kind of like how on the ends here, I've got that nice gold color. Like, I think it's pretty. I mean, you know, what are you gonna do? If I could have bound off and then had like a random line here, and that would have been kind of a shame. Or I could have, I don't know, pulled it all out and reknit it, and I'm not gonna do that. So, you know, you make do, and it's fine. I think it's kind of cool actually, the way it kind of fades into it. It's fun, and no one's gonna notice, no one's gonna care. Even if they do notice, they're not gonna care. I think it worked out well. So definitely highly recommend the pattern. It was a lot of fun to do. It was definitely, as a beginner brioche knitter, it was totally doable. I did a bunch of swatching and practicing before I cast on, and it worked out really well. So I'm really happy. I just learned the lesson to swatch. I say I learned the lesson. I probably will continue playing with fire and not swatching all the time. But at least I know what to expect, and I'm not afraid to kind of have to play around when you get faced with a situation, but it worked out. So I love it. I love these colors. The yarn is Cozy Colorworks. It was a purple rose and I can't remember the other color. Orchid? Purple rose and orchid. So I will link those down below, but so happy. It's nice. It's a little bit warm to be wearing right now, being all this wool. It's like 70 something degrees outside today, which is, feels nice. It's actually really nice to get a little bit of warm sunshine, but I'm gonna keep this on for now because I just love it. So that's my first finished object. My second one is a pair of socks. I've talked about these before, but this is the first time I'm getting to show them done because I only had, I think 2 weeks ago I had one sock done, but I didn't have it with me to even show for the podcast. And then I had like, I don't know, what was it, like the cuff done. So I now have the pair done. These are my Railyard socks, and I actually have this pattern all written up, and it's currently being tested by a wonderful group of knitters right now. And we are having a blast working on this together. So I knit this out of Knit Picks Hawthorne yarn in the North Star colorway. And these are a pair of shorties for my husband. So I named them the Railyard socks because they are a ribbed pattern, and it kind of reminded me of on a railroad where you've got the big rail yard with all of the tracks lined up. So I thought that would be really cool, and these socks were designed with my husband in mind. These are socks for him, and he is a big rail fan, and it just seemed very nice to name these after him and his hobby. So yeah, so this pattern is really easy to adjust to make long socks or to do shorties like this. And my pattern also has different options for adjusting the size of the heel flap for a bigger instep, and also doing a wider heel, which is particularly great for like a man's foot that would be a little bit wider. So I have a couple of different options there to really make these fit nicely. So I'm really excited about them. I love the way a ribbed sock fits too. Like, it just hugs the foot really well. So these are super fun. So I'm hoping to have this pattern out hopefully by the end of the month, right around the start of summer sock camp. that's the goal. We will see what happens. Because I don't know about you all, but I am getting so excited for summer sock camp. This is Kay's 3rd year doing this, and I don't think I did a whole lot the first year, but the second year I really like dove into summer sock camp, and I knit a ton of socks, had such a good time. And my goal this year is I'm planning on getting at least a pair of socks in each one of the cabins. So I will link the video down below that Kay did as an explanation for summer sock camp. If you don't know what it is, I'll give you a quick rundown. But so Kay, the crazy sock lady, has been doing this for 3 years. It's a big knit along. You just knit socks for the summer, and it's great. Based on the method that you use for knitting the socks, you get to enter them into different cabins, and then she will, at the end of summer sock camp, she draws for a bunch of prizes for everybody. So it's a lot of fun, it's exciting. People learn new ways of doing socks. Okay, I'm back. My kids had something to tell me. So anyway, yeah, so based on how you knit your socks, you put them in a cabin, and at the end of summer sock camp, Kay will draw for a bunch of different prizes, yarn, patterns, and all sorts of cool stuff. So it's just a lot of fun. It's really like, it's low-key but exciting. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's not mega stressful. There's the rules are pretty simple. You start a sock, you try to knit it, get it done during the time that summer sock camp is going on. Knit as many socks as you can. If you only get 1 done, you get 10 done. It doesn't matter. It's just a lot of fun. All of us who are obsessed with knitting socks can just enjoy it together. Perfect for summertime. It's great. So yeah, definitely, like I said, I'll link that video down below. Learn about it. Please come join us. It's going to be a lot of fun. So, with summer sock camp, I have another pair of socks that I'm working on right now in my Railyard socks pattern over here. I don't know if I've talked about this one yet. Did I? I don't remember. This is the first sock that I finished. This is in my tropical colorway. I have a sock set available in my shop right now. This main color is tropical, and then the contrast color here is surf. And again, I'm doing this in that Railyard pattern, so that great bug. So that great ribbed pattern. This one I did as a long sock. Hey kiddo. Yeah, so this is for a kid, and I'm not gonna say who it's for yet, but this is for a child. I knit this adult medium actually, and I think it will fit her just great. I just did it a little bit shorter for a slightly shorter foot. And I am almost done the second sock. I am almost 40 rows in, and I think I'm planning on doing about, I think it was 63 for this particular one. Oh, am I out of focus? I think I was out of focus there. So nearly done. I'm hoping to have this done today. I love this colorway though. It's so pretty. It's so colorful. I love the colors. And I have this in a bag by the Knitting Sewist, my friend Jean, who's actually one of my test knitters. But loving this bag. It's been so fun.
Why is there a bee?
I know, there's bees out here. Don't worry. My poor little one, she's afraid of the bees. They're just carpenter bees. They don't sting. They're just like annoying. They burrow into the wood of the house. We will hopefully be getting someone to come over to eradicate them from the house, because they just dive bomb us. They don't have stingers, so they can't sting you, but they like hover all around, and they like bump us in the heads, and they fight with one another, and it scares the little guys. I don't care, but at this point it's like, all right, I know that they're not gonna hurt me, so it's not a big deal, but it would be nice to be out here and get a little bit of peace and hear the birds singing and the wind chime and not the buzzing of these carpenter bees. But anyway. So, oh, you know, I should talk about this back here. This is my spinning. which is currently drying. That's why it's in the sunshine. I just finished this project up last night. And this is, I haven't weighed it yet because I forgot to weigh it before I washed it, and because it's still damp, I can't weigh it yet. That's not gonna get me an accurate number. But it's a little less than 200 grams of Knit Picks Gloss roving, which is a merino wool. I think it's merino. It's definitely wool and silk. So it is a beautiful blend. It's very soft, and it's got like a nice sheen to it from the silk. So I'm so excited about this. This was a big spinning project. So I had two 100 gram, like, I don't know, what do you call it? Like, it's not a hank of roving, or is it a hank of roving? I don't know. When you buy the roving from Knit Picks, it comes in 100 grams. And, oh, like a braid. I mean, but it wasn't braided when I got it. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Details, it's fine. So I took one of those and dyed it in this like really variegated, like pink and purple and blue. And then the other one I did, it was mainly in the pink, and then there was a little bit of variegation in it. And so I spun each of those as singles, and I'll put a picture of them up here. And then I plied them together. So what it ended up doing was it gave like, there's always this, do you see the airplane or hear the airplane? What? You can go downstairs. You hear the airplanes, I know. What was I saying? Oh, so there's one of the singles is that really nice pink that goes through the whole skein here. And then one of the other plies, the other singles are a lot more variegated. But when I spun it all together, it made for, there's definitely variation here, but it's nice, it's subtle. So I'm really, really happy with how this came out. I'm still a really new spinner. I've been doing this for a few months now, but I don't spin all the time. Maybe like once a week, if that. Like usually I'll just get really excited and I'll maybe spin for a couple of days, but definitely it's not something that I do super regularly. But I've gotten better at it. My first few ones were like just spun so tight, and like when I finished they were like hard and ropey and just not really the most pleasant things to knit with. There's one that I have that I really love, and I might try knitting it into socks, because even though it is a bit overspun, I think maybe that'll give it some strength for socks because it's so pretty. It's just doesn't feel quite as nice as it could. It doesn't, like, this feels like yarn, where the other one felt like, ooh, I see the bee. The other one felt a little, I don't know, it's just not soft. It's not super, but I don't know, maybe I can still make it work. And then obviously I finished, in my last video, I had my night shift shawl that I did with an Advent project with all different colors of hand spun, and that one worked really well. So my spinning's getting better every time. Like, you know, it's, so both of my oldest daughters are doing a little bit of spinning, and one of them was talking the other day about, oh, you know, mine just doesn't look as good as yours, Mom, which was really sweet of her to say. But you know, I was talking to her about it, and like this is a good lesson, I think, for all of us as human beings, but definitely as knitters and spinners, that just because we aren't making products that are perfect, like those amazingly talented people that have spent years practicing, that's okay. We don't have to be the best. There's always going to be someone better than us. But are we having fun? Are we getting better? That's what matters. Believe me, my stuff in the beginning didn't look good. It's only getting better. I'm sure that anybody who is a really good spinner can look at this and be like, oh no, there's a problem there. That doesn't look so great. But it's okay. I'm getting better, and I'm happy, and I'm definitely enjoying it. Every step of the way, it has been so fun. So don't be afraid to try something new, even if it doesn't look great in the beginning. Just keep going, keep at it. You'll get better. All right, so last sock that I have, this is in a bag from Midwest Stitches, and this is my walking socks. So I have been taking my yarn for a walk now that the weather's been getting so good. And my idea was I would have one specific pair of socks that I would work on while I'm walking, so it would inspire me to get out and do a little bit more walking, get some more exercise in, and also enjoy knitting at the same time, because I just love knitting and I want to knit all the time. So here is my process here. Is that the word? Progress. This is my progress. I was like, I had done the cuff in a couple of rows when I talked about this a couple of weeks ago, and I said if I hadn't gotten any work done on it, you would all know that I got really lazy and went back into couch potato mode. But look I've been walking. Go me. Usually I can get like, I think about a stripe and a half to 2.5 stripes depending on how long the walk is. So we went quite a few times, and it's not perfect. You can see how like it's really tight here, and then I don't know what happened like in this area. See how it just like it's getting wide again? So things loosened up because I'm walking with them, and my gauge is not going, it's not going to be perfect anyway, but then when you're adding that walk into it, like there's all sorts of stuff going on, but that's fine. That's what these socks are for. So what I'm planning on doing is an afterthought everything sock. So I started with the cuff, and I'm just going to knit this big long tube until I get to almost the end. And with self-striping, it should be pretty easy for me to figure out how far, once I have, looks like I have about 2 stripes here. So when I have about 2 stripes of yarn left in my ball here, then I will know to start doing the cuff. One moment, I have a crying kid. I gotta go take care of her. I had one sad kid, and then I had a little bouquet of flowers brought over to me. Oh, so one sad kid, one flower picking kid, and then a bunch of other kids came in at the same time. So I'm gonna put my little bouquet down over here, and I can look at it while I'm recording this. So sweet. All right, so yeah, my walking socks. So yeah, do the cuff, tube, other cuff, and then I'll cut them apart and add the heels and toes. So this is Knit Picks Felici in the Speed Racer colorway, and I've been really disappointed in Felici lately. Like the last few, like I bought the like the pack of all the different colors. I think it was the last time. No, maybe I think it was 2 updates ago. So it was probably about a year ago. And like every one of them, the colors are all, see how there's like in this green, there's all the like those gray splotches, and it's just, it seems like, I don't know, it seems like it's just happening a lot. I mean, maybe the last batch weren't so bad, but this particular one, I don't know. So, I mean, it's not a big deal. I mean, they're just socks. I mean, I think I'm probably going to give this to my son. He's going to ruin them immediately anyway. He's going to get dirt on them and it'll all blend in anyway. But still, it's a little like, what's with the splotches? But it's okay. I still like them. It's not really, this is honestly not really quite my sort of colorway. I like the neon colors, but like, it's for my son. He'll like it. He does like it. Actually, one of my other daughters has been looking at it, and she keeps asking like, who's gonna get those socks? Who are gonna get those socks? So I might add like pink for her, and maybe give them to her. I don't know. We'll see. I think these are gonna fit my boy really good though. So, but anyway, it's been really fun to do the sock walk, as I've been calling it, my knitting sock, or my walking socks. And so I've been doing like a hashtag on Instagram, hashtag sock walk. So I have at least one friend who's been following along with that, actually. Jean, the knitting sewist, if you remember this bag, she's been taking her socks for a walk too. So that's been so fun to like follow along with her and see the progress that she's doing on her socks. So thank you, Jean, for following along and doing that too, because it's fun, right? All right, so I think, to be honest with you, I think that's all the knitting that I have to talk about today. I guess I just don't have a ton of stuff on the needles right now because I finished up a bunch of stuff lately, And then I've just been kind of trying to focus on this test knit and that spinning project that I finished up and finishing this. So yeah, and I guess just for the next couple of weeks, it's just clearing off the needles for summer sock camp. So that'll be really cool. I do have this skein of yarn. This is my next project that I'm going to be working on. So it's for my Railyard socks that I'm working on. I'm going to do another pair. But I'm going to do it in this one. And this is actually a new base for me. This is an 80-20 blend. Usually my fingering weight yarn is a 75-25, but I thought I would try an 80-20. So this is a familiar colorway if you've been following along. This is my Evergreen Glow colorway, and I dyed it in this new base to give it a try. So I'm excited to try out this 80-20 blend. So that'll be really fun. So I'm planning on releasing it into the shop sometime probably this month. I do have another few skeins of this particular colorway if you're interested. And I also have at least one other color that will be coming out. So that's really fun. And it'll be good to like try it out with my new pattern too. So I guess that is it for today. The kids are all coming out. Hey guys. Hi. I think that's it for today, and we will keep this short and sweet. Everybody is out in the sun and they've got their... Oh, she's so afraid of the bees. Yeah, I better get going. So thanks you all for watching, and I will see you again next time. Say goodbye. Bye.